Diglett. I thought we'd been getting some bad Spotlight Hours lately, but I think this one takes the cake of probably the worst. I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's at least shiny. There are other things that we've had in Spotlight Hours which have not been shiny. So I guess it at least has that going for it. But yeah. It's pretty close to probably the worst Spotlight Hour that we've ever had. It's Diglett. Does anybody like Diglett? Anybody? Anybody at all? I don't know. Anyway, we'll be doing a shiny hunt. I'll be struggling with thoughts, as usual. So how are we doing? How did everybody end up going on the weekend? Oh, I haven't slept. So the yawns have already started. I seriously getting ready for tonight's stream. I was like, I got a lot on my mind. I'm really tired, and it's Diglett. I honestly don't know if I've got the energy to do tonight's Spotlight Hour, but here we are. I managed to pull myself out and was like, wait, that didn't sound good. I managed to wrestle myself out of the house, not yeah. Anyway, glitting. I had to plug my phone into the charger because it's only at 40. And we haven't even started. But yeah, Diglett, bro, Diglett. 10 minutes, but I mean, it's still a little bit lighter. It's a sign. It's a sign that the days are getting longer. So, cool. The springtime is almost upon us. Only, what, a month and a little bit. A month and a quarter, we will say. And then the springtime is here. And the winter can go away. How you doing? As you Chang, welcome in. And Becky, welcome in, guys. So yeah, I don't really have much to talk. Like what, Sunday? Not a lot has happened since Sunday. Things are still the same in Jimmy's world. Confused. Lovelorn and confused. Lovelorn is probably the wrong word, because that not emphasize, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. It makes it out like I'm in love, but I'm not, so. Lustlorn, is that a better way of putting it? Yeah, I finished watching the last episode last night. The last episode in the series, and damn it! Shit has hit the fan. And we have to wait until 2026 for the last series. Because next series, they've already said that it's going to, like Carl Urban has said, it's going to be the last series. So yeah, we have to wait until 2026 for it. I'm just like, oh, are you joking me? I have to wait like a year and a half to find, like, this. Just that's another reason why my head is in a spin right now, because it's just like, I got that to deal with, and then I got ladies to deal with, and then I got my lack of sleep to deal with, and just not in a good spot right now. Everything is not being Jimmy. It's not cool. I don't like it. I'm struggling with my emotions right now. I actually am. Like I've noticed that over the last week or so, like 2 weeks or so, I'm just like, wow, my emotions seem to be in the most messy state that they've ever been. Like I've had depression and stuff like that for a while, but I always seem to be able to keep it under control to some degree. But just recently, like everything's just been incredibly overwhelming. Like every little thing that sort of come up in my life that's giving me issues just seems to be amplified by like 10 at the moment. And I'm just having a hard time dealing with it. So that's fun. You feel bad for Starlight? Trust me, man, it gets... You're only, what, 3 episodes in? What's that, 3 or 4 episodes in? Trust me, it gets worse for poor little Annie. And the rest of them. But yeah, the last episode is a doozy, so be prepared for it. GTA 6 was worth the wait. Yeah, but we weren't... It's a bit different, because it's not like a series where you're waiting for a conclusion. It's a game where it's like, it's released in its entirety, and so it's a bit different. So our president might... Really? Well, there you go. So the assassination attempt went wrong. So what does that mean? Does that mean that Kamala Harris then becomes the sworn-in president? I'm assuming, because that's usually what happens. Yeah, vice president. That's why there's a vice president. That text is... Wait. Are we still talking about the boys, or are we talking about real life politics here? Do you mean Firecracker or whatever her name is? It's huge. How you doing, Gummy Go? Gummy Goo. Welcome. Diglett. I mean, I suppose the Pokemon of choice tonight has been a good analogy for my life at the moment. It's like, don't make a molehill out of an anthill sort of thing. Or don't turn an anthill into a molehill. However the phrase goes, you know what I'm saying. Because that's sort of what feels like my life is right now. It's like I feel, hey, there we go. We got a shiny Alolan Diggy. Good old Digletts. Yeah, I feel like my problems probably aren't as bad as they are. It's just, like I said, everything just feels so much worse than what it is. So maybe I'm making a molehill out of an anthill. Maybe I just got to learn to relax a little bit. Yeah, Firecracker, she's no good. Trust me, dude, it gets worse. Like, you're already like halfway through the series, mate. Just wait. It gets worse. No Didiot. Got that Alolan Diddy. Diddy with a tan. Diddy in the Caribbean. Diddy of the Caribbean. But yeah, at the same time, with all this stuff that's been... I feel sorry for you guys. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, over the last month or so, like, I've been dumping all of my trauma onto you guys. And it's something that I try not to do. But it's been happening just non-stop for, like, the last month and a bit. Where all my trauma... all my private stuff is just being like, I need somebody to talk to because I don't get to see my therapist enough. Yeah, it's actually a pain in the ass. I don't get to see my therapist again until like mid next month. I was supposed to have an appointment the other day, but he's on leave, and it's supposed to be a phone appointment, and he ended up not being able to get through to me, and so the appointment never happened. And I feel like I was at that point where I actually really needed to have, so it's like another month. I feel it's like I'm struggling at the moment. I need someone to vent my frustration to face to face that isn't you guys or my parents, or because you guys just listen to me rant on and just go, Jimmy, please shut up. This is a Pokemon stream. Jimmy should have played Bush for sure. Yeah, totally. Bloody diabolical. You're all welcome. I'm in the bath at the moment, so can't chat, but still okay. I don't know whether to be worried about that, or you're watching my streams while you're in the bath. It's like, okay. You can't see, but I have a look on my face that's just a little bit worried. No shower. Speaking of showers, that's something that I need to do when I get home. Like, honestly, I stayed up until like 7:30 this morning thinking about stuff that yeah, and now I've just spent the whole day sort of like laying, trying to sleep a little bit. The Spider-Man movies were on, so I was like, I'll just have them playing in the background and I'll try and get some sleep. And yeah, it was more like that half nap type of sleep. So I am running on fumes today, guys. I'm really tired. And then I need to go home and message Amanda and see what she's doing, how her day's been, and then also contemplate messaging Alice, because she posted up something earlier about having some existential crisis stuff, and I'm like, maybe I should reach out to her and be like, hey, if you need someone to talk to, I am here. But at the same time, I don't know if I should. I don't know. I just feel like it might be something to do, given that she was helping me so much the other week when I went and saw her. She was spending a lot of time talking to me about my issues, so maybe I should reach out to her and be like, hey, you've helped me a lot with my stuff recently, so just know that I'm here to help you with your stuff if you need to. That's probably a good way of putting it. Yeah, I might just do that. You watch a few streams in the bath. You're only washing yourself, not... Okay, it's okay. It's okay. As long as it's just washing. We don't know if it was confirmed or not, if you're curious, about the president. He's an old dude, man. He's an old... Well, was an old... I don't know. Do we use present or past tense now? Nobody knows. But could you imagine what would have happened if the assassination was actually successful and then the president actually died as well? It's just like, can you imagine the shitstorm that would have created? Like the vacuum of power and all that sort of stuff that just would have occurred if such events unfolded. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's sort of reminiscent of the Boys. Very similar, man. Very, very similar. Me too. You haven't in 2 days. What? Showered or? honestly. Sometimes I just don't because I'm doing other stuff. It's like I'll do a workout, I'm like, oh, I'll have a shower after I finish working out, and then it's like late by the time I finish. I'm like, I'll have dinner and see how I feel afterwards, and I'm like, I really can't be bothered anymore because then I gotta let my hair dry, and I'm like, it's too much issues, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I just do the same thing, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe I should actually shower. I used to be a good boy and do it like every day when I woke up, and then I started doing workouts, and I was like, it's really not like much point having a shower before you work out, because then you get all sweaty and gross again and you just need to have another shower. So I started making a habit of doing it afterwards, and then I've just started making a habit of working out later in the day. And mental health also plays a big part in, I really can't be bothered. Good times. Ben, are you talking about the assassination attempt, or? How you doing, Crystal? Welcome in. How you doing? Oh, well, there you go. Did you hear it? I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, it's really the, like, it's like the sort of stuff that you see in movies and stuff, and then it, like, happens in real life, and you're like, damn, America is just like the movies. Next, I'm going to see Bruce Willis, like, come out of nowhere and, like, you know, jump through the air going, yippee-ki-yay, mother freakers. So yeah, those that have come in late, we did score ourselves a little Alolan Diglett just before. So we got a shiny. But yeah, I still think that this is a bit of a waste of a spotlight hour. I know that they're trying to do stuff that isn't so great after GoFest, because they've just given us a whole bunch of stuff, but it's like, at least make it half interesting. Surely there's something better that you could have chose than Diglett. That's a fire shiny. I've already got, like, it though. That's the thing. Diglett. Actually, surprisingly not, that was actually my second Alolan Diglett. So I was unaware that I actually needed that. So, cool. We actually got something that we needed tonight. There you go. And I am really surprised that I don't have as many shiny Digletts as I thought I did. So that's 4, including one of the hatted ones. Well, there you go. You'll take one off my hands. Get out of Diglett. Well, the Alolan ones, like, I gotta keep now. Just 'cause, like I said, I didn't realise that was my second one. But if you guys were within 100 meters of me, I would happily send you one. Trade, all that good stuff. Alright, 20 minutes. Got an eggy going, so I should probably hatch before we're done. You'll get yours in a couple of hours. Or fingers crossed. I think Diglett is a boosted shiny, if I remember correctly. So I think the chances of getting one are a lot better than your atypical shiny. I think it's a 1 in 50 shiny. But yeah, it makes me go, oh, I'm surprised that I haven't got another one. Like, yeah, it was taking me this long to get one of the Alolan ones. I suppose we don't really see the Alolan ones as often as normal Diglett. But yeah, I chose the worst day to sort of spend laying around, not doing much. So it was 17 degrees today. It's just like, could have actually been productive and got some stuff done and, you know, enjoyed the nice day. But what do? I don't. I stay up all night and then try and sleep all day. My existence in a nutshell. That's what you're doing right now currently for you. I was up until 7:30 a.m. Actually, no, it was later than that. It was like, by the time I actually decided that I should try and get some sleep, it was probably closer to 9 in the morning. Yeah, because I got my dog up at like 8:30. So I did that, let her out, and then, yeah, it's probably around 9 a.m. when I was just like, you know what? Probably a good time to try and sleep. But yeah, I really need to change my sleeping schedule around. It's the thing that's, I think, stuffing with my mental health the most, because I'm just not sleeping and I'm not getting that proper sleep in proper hours. So my brain chemistry is all wacky. Probably playing a big part in my shattered state of being at the moment. Because supposedly getting decent sleep is very important, but I wouldn't know. I haven't slept properly since I was probably 15 years old. So that was a long time ago now. Hey Joshua, how you doing? It's 0.1. Wait, so this thing weighs what, 10 grams? Lightest, yeah, it's 0.1 kilograms. So this thing weighs 10 grams. That is a tiny little Diglett right there. Tiny little diggies. Nope, no shots. Diglett is not very... Oh, tell me about it, dude. I'm completely aware. I was honestly contemplating whether or not I was going to come out and do this one tonight. So it's like, it's Diglett. Nobody's going to be interested in Diglett. I got other things on my mind. I haven't slept. So yeah. But here we are. I figured, you know, we may as well do it. It does get me out of the house for a little bit. And honestly, things weren't so bad until I actually was just about to get ready to do the stream and come down. Because some things popped up. And I saw that one of my lady friends is probably going to be a bit all over the place for the next few weeks. Like, she's not going to be in Melbourne for a little bit of it, sort of thing. So I'm just like, I think that's going to make it harder for us to catch up. And should I catch up with her before she goes, if I can? And blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. Yeah. So that was a good thing to get ready for the stream too. Just like, god damn it, now I've got more on my mind. I have this sense of urgency now that I have to, try and see her before she goes. But then I'm like, no, because I'd already planned sort of not to, and should just go with my original plan. Get a shiny in the next 5 checks. We'll see. Like I said, I've already got the shiny, so it's not really that important if I don't get one. Wait, I've already clicked, 1, 2. So that's how scatterbrained I was. I'd already forgotten to count. 3, 4. And lucky last one. Nope, no shiny after 5 clicks. Something else that happened yesterday. I woke up to a message, and it was from the ADHD clinic that I was referred to like 5 or 6 months ago. Finally getting back to me saying, hey, we've got some spots open if you would like to come and get tested. It's going to cost you like $1,400. I don't know if I can exactly afford that right now. I mean, I really do think I need to get tested but $1,400, and like, you got to pay a deposit of half of it, and then you're going to pay the other half of it 2 weeks before the actual session. And I'm like, what? There's no like being able to pay it off in installments and stuff like that. Can't I zip pay it? You just subscribed, Joshua? Well, thank you. Much appreciated. So yeah, now I got to get back to them, but I'm like, I don't know, man. And I've read some reviews about them as well, and supposedly they're not that great. There's probably other places that I can go that are going to be better. And my sister got tested recently and was diagnosed, so I might have to talk to her and be like, hey, where did you go? Where did you go to get tested? It should be free. It should be, but you've got to go and see a psychiatrist, and they've got to run the assessment and stuff like that, and just psychiatrists in general are expensive. But yeah, for something that's the way that it is, and the issues that it causes and all that sort of stuff, it's just like, it should be free. Like, mental health should be free. I mean, in Australia, we do get a lot of free mental health care in comparison to other parts of the world. Like, for instance, the therapist that I go and see and stuff like that, because I've got it on a extended healthcare plan, I get like 5 free sessions every 6 months sort of thing that are covered by the healthcare system. So I mean, that's good. I mean, it's not as many as it should be, but at least it's 5. Actually, I think it's been boosted recently. I think it's up to like 10 or something now. I can't remember how many it actually is. But yeah, they're essentially free sessions. So that's cool, but this is something that should be covered as well. I supposedly should be getting like 400 of it back on a rebate, but it's still going to cost me like $1,000, $1,100 or something like that to get like tested. I'm like, I don't know if I can afford it. You just liked and subscribed. Well, thank you. Like I said, dude, I do appreciate it. Muchly. Muddy puddles. Muddy puddles. We're only halfway through, man. Damn it, I just want this to finish already. This isn't fun. Yeah, I remember when Spotlight Hours used to be fun. I suppose I can say the same thing about most events in the game these days, though. Like Spotlight Hour, for instance. Oh, Spotlight Hour. Duh, we're just talking about that, Jimmy. Com Days, for instance. Like Com Day on the weekend. I mean, Dynamo, not the greatest shiny in the world. Not useful for anything. It felt like a real filler. Like I said before, I know that they're just trying to give us events after Com Day, like after Go Fest rather, that weren't, too great. So because they know that people spent all of last weekend and a whole bunch of money sort of like out playing and stuff. So like, let's just give people some stuff that, isn't that interesting, just so people can be like, we don't really care. We're not going to play this one. But still, for the people that are out there like me that are streaming for you guys, it's just like, well, that just makes it hard for me because I just can't be enthusiastic about it as I would be. How you doing, Nat? Welcome in. I lives in Melbourne. So do I. Well, sort of. I live in close enough proximity to Melbourne to be like I live in Melbourne. Hey, you got a shiny? Nice. Which one? I got a Alolan Diglett before. But we still got, like I said, half an hour to see if we can get another one. I'm actually surprised that I haven't seen another one at this point. As I said, I'm sure that Diglett is a boosted shiny. But yeah, I suppose the shiny odds are skewed a bit. Because whenever you've got multiple Pokemon spawning, the shiny odds are always a bit lower. Just because that 1 in 50 or whatever is spread across 2 different Pokemon, so it's probably closer to 1 in 100. Not a Alolan. You don't know how to say it though. Was it a Diglett or just another shiny in general? Like it wasn't actually a shiny Diglett. Am I gonna stream for the whole day for raid? Yeah, it's only 3 hours. Always do the raid days. So we'll be here doing raids, taking names, battling Lucarios. Well, we should be. I won't. At this point, like back before all this mental stuff started, it was easy for me to be like, yeah, we'll be around. And I can't promise. I don't know how I'll be feeling that day. More than likely, I'll be out and about doing stuff, but it's just like, yeah, at this point, it really depends, because I never know how I'm going to be feeling, and if I'm that emotionally damaged, then maybe not. We will see. We'll play it by ear, but more than likely. I don't add people just randomly. I only add people for raid days and raid hours and stuff like that, and it's just temporary. Unless you're a member of the channel, then you can stay on the list permanently, sort of thing. But yeah, otherwise it's just temporary because I just don't have the room on my friends list to keep everybody on it. So many Digletts, no shinies. You're on level 29, that's alright. That's all good, you'll get there. Just keep playing the game, you'll level up. Like honestly, getting to level 40 is easy in comparison to what it used to be with all the XP bonuses that we have these days that we just didn't have back when the game first came out. So yeah, getting from level 1 to 40 is fairly easy. It's once you get to 40 that it starts to get a bit challenging because you have all the tasks and stuff that you have to do as well. Man, I walked way too quickly because I am almost back at the car and I still have 20 minutes. It's like, oh, I'm gonna have to keep walking, and I don't think I'll do another full lap around here. I think I'll just walk until I figure that enough time has passed that I can turn around and walk back to the car. Because I really don't feel like doing another full lap just for Diglett. Plus, as I said, I've got other things on my mind, so I sort of want to go home and contemplate what I want to do. Seems to be missing some of our regs tonight. Like Negan and Teffinette aren't here. Well, they might be. They might just be lurking in the background. But usually they at least say hello. So hello, ladies, if you are here. I understand that people are just like, I got better things to do. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get another shiny tonight. I really would have expected that if we were going to, we would have got one by now. As I said, it's just difficult when you've got multiple forms of a single Pokemon forming, or spawning rather, or just more than one Pokemon in general. Yeah, it just feels very much like a letdown after Go Fest and having like so many cool spawns. Just to have what we've had over the last, for Com Day Spotlight Hours and that, because last week's Spotlight Hour wasn't really spectacular either. I mean, who wants Binacle? One, it's already been a Com Day Pokemon in the past, and two, it was featured during during Go Fest. So it was just like, it's not a good Pokemon. It's not fun. It's not. What it does actually remind me of though, is the old one of the characters from the old Alex the Kid game on Sega, like back in the day. Looks like the scissor head, because you used to play like rock, paper, scissors at the end of levels. And yeah, it just looks like the dude. The dude. IA set, I'm sorry, I do not know what you mean. What are you talking about? Do I have another job, or is this my main sort of... at the moment, this is my thing. My thing. But yeah, I don't... Oh, God, I'm tired. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't make a lot off of it, sort of thing. It's because I'm not consistent enough. Doing 2 or 3 streams a week isn't really enough. Yeah, I got plans to do like another channel sort of thing that I can be a bit more serious with, that isn't sort of gaming related. It's more mental health and all that sort of stuff related. Just with my current headspace and just the way my life is right now, I just don't have the motivation to do that. I need to pull myself out of my own shit before I try and tell other people how they should deal with theirs. So yeah, that's a fun adventure. But at least you know that I'm being legitimate about it. When it's not just somebody making stuff up to try and, you know, it's like, I've been there, I've done that, I know what it's like. So I have experience dealing with it. I spend a lot of money on raids? No, not really. Honestly, I only really raid on like raid hours and stuff like that. Like during the week, outside of that, I don't really raid at all. So yeah, I don't spend much money, as much as you think that I would spend on it, sort of thing. Is it a community day? No, it's just a spotlight hour. It's like a mini community day, but it only goes for an hour. And shiny odds aren't boosted like they are for... Alright, we got 15 minutes, so I'll keep walking for a little bit, but then like I said, I'm just going to turn around and head back to the car. To the car. Honestly, I wore a jacket tonight, but because I thought it was going to be cold, but it's not that bad. It's not as cold as I thought it was going to be. But it's better to be warm than not be warm. Yeah, in comparison to other people that make content for the game and just in general, they don't even have to make content for the game. I don't really spend that much money on the game. Like, I spent a bit of money last week for GoFest. And then leading up to it, because we had raid days like every day leading up to GoFest. But yeah, other than that, like, yeah, I don't really spend as much. Okay. Now it can spin stars. I've been getting this a lot lately as well. I miss the hatch animations. Like, I think it's glitched out. Like, they just not pop up. I swear to God, I hatch more Togepis than anything else. Seems like every second egg that I hatch is a Togepi. And I'm getting sick of it. I've also got to get something for dinner on the way home. Yeah, so tomorrow night's going to be Tornadus raids. For anybody that is interested in Tornadus, eggs need to be changed. Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know, it's just got to the point where it doesn't really matter what they put into eggs or what they put into raids, because we've had it all for so long that it's just not as interesting as it used to be. Like, what they need to do is put stuff like Solgaleo and Lunala and stuff like that into raids, because now that we've had them for GoFest, I feel like it's about time that they're like, okay, let's do a run of them and put them into raids for people. Yeah, we've had the same rotation of raid bosses for forever now. There's been nothing new that's really been added to it. The only new stuff that they really add to raids on a semi-regular basis now are mega raids, but they don't really interest everybody. Most people are more interested in legendary raids over the mega raids. What's for dinner? KFC have 10 tenders for 10 on the app. Probably not, because I'm hungry, but just because of my, like, this is one of the biggest problems that I have when it comes to dealing with my mental stuff. When I've got stuff on my mind like I do now, I just don't really eat. So I probably won't actually get food on the way home. Like, I'll get something to eat, but it'll be something that I can make later after I've sort of figured out things and sat around. So no, I won't be getting KFC on the way home. Probably just stop at the supermarket and get soup or something like that. Something quick and easy that I don't really have to put much effort into. I can just have it when I feel like it. And these last 10 minutes really seems to dragging on. I keep looking at the clock and I'm like, oh man, only 2 minutes has gone past. Man, Diglett. Why are you doing this to me, bro? Why are you doing this to me, bro? Should probably finish this off, eh? Yeah, we'll do it after. We'll do it once we're back at the care. Will there ever be a GoFest where I am? Probably not. Australia doesn't have a big enough player base for them to warrant putting an event like that here. They can put them in America. They can put them in Japan, just because Japan is the birthplace of Pokemon Go, so there'll always be people playing there. And they can put one somewhere in Europe, and just because Europe is a big landmass with it's easy for people to travel to wherever it's going to be located, no matter where they are in Europe for the most part. But Australia is very far away from everything else, just because we're a very isolated country. So yeah, I don't think we might get a safari zone here. Like, we were supposed to get a safari zone here before COVID, but then COVID hit, and then yeah, haven't really heard anything else about that. But no, I very highly doubt that we would get a GoFest here. I was going to say I'll turn around in 5 minutes, but honestly, if I keep walking for 5 minutes, I'm just going to end up back down at the end of the trail, so I might just turn around here and start heading back to the car. So I got to walk all the way back there. I'm sort of like at that halfway point. So yeah, it's probably better if I just turn around and head back rather than continuing to walk, because then by the time I get down there, I'm going to have to walk all the way back. I'll finish another lap around, and I really cannot be bothered, so let's just head back. There are a lot of Australian YouTubers yet. No, number of YouTubers isn't going to change the player base numbers, and Niantic they're not going to just have an event here just because there's Pokemon Go YouTubers. It's like, we're just free advertising to them for the most part. I mean, out of all the YouTubers that do content, there's only a select few that they actually pay to go to events and stuff like that. And they don't even pay them to go to the events. They just, you know, cover their travel costs and stuff like that. It's not like they're actually getting paid to do what they do. It's just that, hey, we'll fly you over to this event and then you can partake and get the, you know, the community hyped up for us because they watch your content. Like that's what it's about. It's just, I've had many a conversation with Zoe about her saying that, you know, when they fly them out to America to do like a meeting with Niantic about, you know, community engagement and what do you think, you know, we need to do to change, you know, to make the game better and all that sort of stuff, they'll give them advice and Niantic very rarely actually take it. So yeah, Zoe, it's just like, you know, sometimes it's just like talking to a brick wall, because you tell them what's wrong with the game, you tell them what they need to do to fix it, you tell them why the community doesn't like the decisions that they make, and they just go, oh, okay, we're just going to do it anyway. So it's just like, well, what was the point of you flying these people out to, you know, have a discussion about how the game needs to change and all that sort of stuff if you're not actually going to take the, you know, the advice that they give you. You know, they're the community representatives, yet you don't listen to the community at all. So it's like, well, sort of defeats the purpose, don't you think? They just want to make the most amount of money. It's not even that. They're just so stuck in their ways of wanting to do things the way that they have it mapped out on their roadmap that I mean, the perfect example of that is if they wanted to keep making the amount, like the most amount of money, they wouldn't have nerfed the raid passes. They were making a lot of money off remote raid passes, yet they still decided, no, for the long-term health of the game, we want to nerf the raid passes to drive people back out into the community to do raids in person, all that sort of stuff. How's that worked out for you, Niantic? We're just going to have to start doing more ticketed events just to try and make up on that revenue that we've lost from the raid passes, just because it didn't work the way that we wanted it to, because vast majority of people have not gone back out and started raiding in person. They just have stopped playing the game. So that just completely backfired on them. So their long-term health that they wanted to help with the game has just damaged the game so much worse, because people just, you know, instead of bringing the community back together, it just drove people away from the game. So an already shrinking community just became smaller because of decisions that they make. And then, like I said, the way that they try and make up for that is just by giving us more ticketed events. I mean, think about the amount of ticketed events that we've had since they've done the remote raid pass nerf. Every single event now has a paid element to it. Well, we used to get events for free, you know. Now, every single one has like a $7 ticket that you can buy to get some bonuses and stuff out of the already repeated event. You know, so the vast majority of events that we have are stuff that we've already had before, but they're like, oh, if you want these extra bonuses, give us $7 and you can get some extra candy and some encounters with these Pokemon. And so yeah, the game is steadily dying, and it's just because Niantic just, yeah. Niantic are Niantic. Does anybody want to become lucky friends? Unfortunately, you got to get to best friends first, and then you have a chance of going lucky with them, Jay. 3 biggest YouTube channel members are there. What do you mean? Sorry, what do you mean, Moses? You wonder if their playership would have still decreased if remote raid passes never existed. Yeah, because people would have stopped playing during COVID. So one of the reasons why they added the remote raid passes was so people could still raid during the COVID, pandemic sort of thing, during its height where everybody was in lockdown. For a game that is essentially being out in the real world and playing when everybody was in lockdown, that was the worst thing that could happen to a game like Pokemon Go. So they had to give us ways of being able to play the game remotely. So that's why, remote raid passes became a thing. And then, everybody just sort of got used to using them and thought it was a great feature of the game. But then Niantic was just like, no, we want people back out in the real world again. But things have changed. People don't really want to go out and socialize with people that they don't necessarily have to anymore. Since the pandemic, people's ideals and people's way of living and all that sort of stuff have changed over the last 4 years, like 4 to 5 years. So for them to try and force people back into that pre-2019 way of living is just stupid on their behalf, just because people just don't want to do that. People have their own things to do now. Like, one, the game's a lot older. Two, people just don't want to live that way anymore. People have developed a new way of living since, the lockdowns and stuff. So yeah, for them to be so insistent on trying to get people that, it's just damaging them and it's damaging the game. But we're already at a point where it's like the game's in free fall sort of thing. Unless there's a big event like GoFest or a tour or something like that, it's like people just aren't really as interested in the game as they used to be. There'll always be new players, but nowhere near the numbers that it used to be, sort of thing. All right, there we go. So, Spotlight Hour is just about to finish. So we didn't get another shiny, but we did get one. So, and out of both of them, I actually needed a second Alolan Diglett. So, and we got something out of tonight. It wasn't all for naught. Still feels like it though, because it was Diglett, and I just really wasn't up to it tonight. Really didn't feel like I wanted to walk around for an hour catching Digletts, but we did it. Do I think the next com day will be your mask? Probably not, because it's a ghost type Pokemon. They usually do ghost type Pokemon for October because of Halloween and stuff, so I don't think next one. It might be, but I would guess not, sort of thing. Josh said no big YouTubers live there. They have 3 of the biggest ones. Me, Fleece, and Zoe. I wouldn't say that I'm... Pro Planty and Cricket both have bigger play bases than, viewerships than I do. No, I'm not one of the biggest YouTubers in Australia. And Fleece King isn't really a YouTuber. He's more of a Twitch streamer. So do you think players would still do... Oh, sorry. You already read that question. Oh, no, wait, this is the same thing. So do you think players would still decline if they had no limit on raid passes? Probably not as quick. Like, the player base would still go down, yes, because people just get sick of playing the game, move on to other things, life happens, all that sort of stuff. But it wouldn't have happened as quickly. Like, they had a huge hemorrhage of players that left the game just because we did another Hear Us Niantic thing after they did the remote raid pass and left. Just like, no, we don't want this as a community, please listen to us, and they just ignored us. And so people were like, fine, just sick of the game, goodbye. So they just stopped playing. said that there was a lot of... Yeah, I know what you said, Josh. You personally play every day since launch because of FOMO. I was like that for a very long time, but even now, like, that has dropped off. Like, I didn't play the game at all. I had the game open, like, when I went to the supermarket yesterday, I had the game open so I could spin a stop and catch some stuff and stuff like that, but I didn't actively go out and play the game. And if there's, like, honestly, these days, unless there's an event on, like this or raid hours or com days or that, it's like, if I'm not streaming, I tend not to play the game, sort of thing. Like, I'll open it up and I might catch something and, you know, spin a stop when I'm out and about, but I'm not actively playing it like I used to, sort of thing, just because after, you know, 8 years, the novelty has sort of worn off. It's not that I don't enjoy the game anymore, it's just that it's not a priority in my life like it used to be. Like, it used to be, like, my main priority. It's like, I had to get up and I had to, you know, do every event and catch every new shiny and all that sort of stuff. But that gets old after a while. And when you spend 8 years of your life devoted to one thing, you realize how many other things you've missed out on. So it's like, yeah, I need to start prioritizing other things in my life and trying to get... Like I've been talking about for this stream, like, my mental health and all that sort of stuff has become a big priority in my life. And this game helped in a sense when it came to that, but then when I got to the point where I was just playing it way too much, then it was becoming a detriment to my mental health. That's when I decided that, you know, it's okay, we need to pull back on it a little bit and just start putting my life in general ahead of the game, sort of thing. It's just like, you know, if I don't want to play, I don't want to play. I've got other things that I would rather do instead, like working out or, you know, going and seeing a friend or, you know, that sort of stuff. You know, I will prioritize that. Like the other week, we had those raid days that were leading up to GoFest. I took the Monday off instead of doing the week long of raid days leading up to that. On Monday was an opportunity to go and see a friend that I hadn't seen for a while and that I'd been missing. So yeah, I went and saw her and spent a couple of hours hanging out with her instead of doing raids, because I was like, I would much rather do that because I enjoy her company and I would like to spend more time with her, sort of thing. It's nighttime. It is 7 p.m. for me. Phantom Com Day. No, we had Phantom last year for Com Day for October. So they won't do it. They won't do a repeat. It'll be something different. It'll probably be your mask or something, I would assume. There is an Arcanine there. I have many an Arcanine. I don't need... I got like 4 or 5 hundo Arcanine, so it's no biggie. I don't really care that much. I'll catch it for you guys, but it's only 211 CP. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like, I've been playing the game for that long that seeing stuff like that just, it's like, it's just another Pokemon now. I don't really care. Am I safe in the night? Yeah. I would assume so. I live in a fairly safe area and I am not a woman. So I can walk around at nighttime without having to worry about being attacked for the most part. Battle. I can do a battle, but I'm probably like, honestly, guys, like I said, I've got other things that I got to deal with tonight. So, yeah, I can do a battle if you would like to, but I'm just going to wrap it up and go and get some stuff to eat on the way home and go home and figure out what I'm going to do. You mean you still enjoy the game just as much as you ever have? Pogo helped me mental a lot too. Yeah, like I said, in the beginning it did help. It got me out of the house. Like, I was somebody that just sat around doing a lot of nothing. And it got me out of the house and helped me meet people and all of that sort of stuff. But like I said, it just became too much. Like, it was just controlling my life, especially when I was making videos and stuff like that for the game. Like, that's when it's just like, I felt like I had to go out and play it rather than going out to play it just because I enjoyed playing it. So that's when it started becoming an issue, because I was like, I really don't want to, because, you know, I'm dealing with other stuff, but I've got to make that video, I've got to get it out. So it's just like, it became a chore rather than something that I enjoyed doing. And then, yeah, COVID happened, and sort of during those years just wasn't playing it as much. Still was, but because I was lucky enough that we weren't going through as many lockdowns here as other parts of Melbourne and the world and stuff like that. So yeah, I was still able to go out and actually play the game when other people couldn't. But yeah, it's just been a decline over the last couple of years. You can only stay interested in something for so long before it just like becomes, you know, boring, especially when it doesn't change, because the game hasn't really changed much, sort of thing. There's no new mechanics being added to the game. The only thing that they really release is new generations of Pokemon, and once you've caught one Pokemon, you've caught them all, sort of thing. After it gets that way after a while, you're just like, yeah, okay, it's just not as interesting as it used to be. And I've gotten older. As I said, priorities shift and all that sort of stuff as you get older. So that's what's happened. Have a good rest day. I shall. Hopefully. I just don't know what to do when I get home. I saw my friend posting up something online on Instagram about her just having a ow. That was hit a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Just having some existential thoughts and stuff like that. And I was having a rough week the other week, and when we were chatting, she was very much helping me through that stuff, like giving me advice and stuff that I should do. So I'm very much thinking when I get home, I'm going to send her a message and just be like, hey, like, I saw your post. If you need to talk to anybody, like, know that I'm here for you, sort of thing. Like, I'd like to help you out as much as you helped me out. But then I'm also worried that I'm not going to get a reply and all that sort of stuff, just because she has ADHD, so sometimes she just doesn't reply to messages, especially if she's got to put thought into them, sort of thing. So that sort of thing is the thing that is like, you know, she's going to have to put a reasonable amount of thought into something like that. And then I'm just going to feel bad because I don't get a reply, and then it's just going to make me feel worse, even though that I know it's not personal. But yeah, I don't know if I should message her, go and see her on Friday or something like that, but I don't think I should. I think I should just space myself from her a little bit, as much as I would like to see her. But again, might be the last time that I get to see her, because she's going to be out of Melbourne a bit. I don't know, man. I don't know. GG's. Just replace sitting around with Pokemon Go. Yeah, pretty much, eh? How many shinies did I get? Just one. Just one. No shiny, okay. I mean, how many shinies do I have in general? Not how many shinies I got tonight. I have like 3,000 plus shinies. 3,200 shinies, something like that. In your spare time, sit down and think how you can better your life. Dude, that's all I do. When I sit down at home and I think about stuff, I think about that, but I also get stuck on dwelling about, as you know, the stuff that I've been dwelling about over the last few weeks. months at this point. That's why it's like when I get home, I really want to send her a message just to let her know that I'm here if she needs somebody to talk to, but I'm also scared about doing that. Not because I'm scared about sending her a message, just scared about how it's going to make me feel if I don't get a reply back from her, sort of thing. And as I said, it's not a personal thing. If she doesn't reply to my message, it's not because she's just like, oh, I don't want to reply to you, sort of thing. Like, she's not ignoring me. It's just executive functioning when it comes to ADHD. If it's something that she has to put thought into, and there's a chance that she won't reply to it just because it's going to be too much for her to deal with at that point in time, or she's just, distracted by something else, or she goes to reply and something else happens and then it's gone from her memory. So it's just that sort of thing that it just makes it hard for me to want to reply to her sometimes, as much as I want to reach out and be like, hey, I just know that if I don't get a reply, it's just going to make me feel like shit, even though I know that it's not a personal slight to me, sort of thing. Like, we've discussed this before, and she's like, if I don't reply to you, just know that it's not personal. It's like, it happens to everybody in my life, sort of thing. For Diglett, just one for Diglett Hour. Can you add? No, I'm not adding people tonight. I'll be adding people tomorrow night for Raid Hour. But I don't add people in general unless you're a member of the channel. In your bathroom at the moment with your S8. Fair enough. Am I still... Yes, Daybreaker, I am still talking about this girl. Because I am always talking about this girl. Hey, I got another girl to talk about now as well. I got to message her tonight as well. I got multiple women to send messages to tonight. I don't know. No, I'm sure that there is something between me and Alice, sort of thing. Like, there's a chemistry that I can feel between us, sort of thing, that I know it's mutual. Just because it's everything that comes across in the conversations, just, the eye contact, the engagement in the conversation on both parts. The fact that it's very hard for us to separate when we are together, sort of thing. It's just like, in person, there is some real chemistry there, but as soon as we're apart for any period of time, because of her stuff, like her executive functioning and stuff like that, and because I'm not in her immediate life, just the messaging and stuff like that can be very strained. So I get real mixed signals off of it, which is why it's making me so confused, because it's just like, when we're together, it's just like, I can feel that there is something between us, but then when we're apart, I just feel like I get ignored, even though I know that I'm not getting ignored. It's just how she is when it comes to messaging and all that sort of stuff. So it's just difficult. It's just difficult. I don't know what to do. You learned that don't take everything personal. No one thinks about yourself more than... Yeah, no, I know that, dude. Trust me, I know that. But when you're messaging someone that you feel has some sort of... like, you have a connection with, and they don't get back to you when you think that they should get back to you, like, I don't expect her to message me, like, as soon as I send her a message. Just be like, oh, she's on her phone, she has to send me a message, like, straight away. It's like, yeah, I don't mind if, it's hours later or the next day or something like that, but sometimes I just don't hear back at all. And it's just like I said, it's just, I feel like I'm getting those mixed signals, but I got to remember that it's, her, just the way her brain works, sort of thing. Dealing with somebody that has ADHD is just different to dealing with a neurotypical person. It's just like, once out of sight, out of mind. It's just, yeah. And then when I do this stuff, it really does make me feel like I'm just making excuses for her sometimes, but I would like to think that that's what it is, and it's not. She's just ignoring me. Dang, Jimmy is having more luck than I do shiny hunting in Pokemon. What do you mean, like, what, with women, or... I have no luck. Are you just talking about like my shinies in general? How am I having my what? Because it's not working out. Is that what you mean? Are you poking fun at my? Hey, I'll have you know that I am speaking to 2 women at the moment. One more so than the other. See, that's another thing that's confusing me as well, just because this other chick that I'm speaking to, she seems really genuinely interested. Like, she reaches out to me and she engages in conversations with me, and I'm not the one that always has to initiate the conversations. So it's just like, I know that she's interested in hanging out. Like, she's made plans, and then when they didn't go our way, like last week when we couldn't catch up, she was the one that was quick to reschedule the plans, sort of thing. She's like, if you're free next Thursday, like, I'll be happy to do it next week, sort of thing. So yeah, I've got that, but she's a normal girl. I don't know. She says that she has undiagnosed ADHD, but I say that as well. But yeah, she comes across as very reciprocal, is the word that I'm looking for. Oops, I didn't mean to switch into that. That was not the switch that I meant to make. I'm too busy tapping on the screen. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking. I haven't slept, so my brain is just not working. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. No, I'm not going to be doing many more battles, guys, because I'll be wrapping it up to go home and contemplate my stuff. Because I have 2 of the opposite gender. No, they're both women. They're both women. As I said, it's one that I know. And I know that Alice, she's unmedicated as well, because we were talking about that the other week. So that makes her symptoms of ADHD worse, because she's not medicated. No, double KO. So yeah, her ability to keep stuff in her memory and reply to messages and all that sort of stuff is a bit less than. But again, as I said, I feel like I'm just making excuses for her sometimes of why things aren't. But like I said, there is a connection between us. I know that there is. There's yeah. She wouldn't act the way that she does around me. She wouldn't want to help me the way that she was helping me last week, like chatting with me about stuff, if she didn't care. And she didn't. So it's just like, I know that there's an emotional connection that we've got with each other, sort of thing. It's just, it's hard to keep that going when you can only see this person once a month or once every 2 months or something like that. And then, yeah, when you're trying to contact them through text messages, you don't really get the responses that you want, sort of thing. So it's just, it's hard to keep that positive mindset of just like, no, she does like you, sort of thing, when it's just like, but does she? No, opposite of your gender. Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Dave? Confused. Like I said, I haven't slept, so be direct, or just my brain. Go to bed. I want to. I got stuff that I gotta do when I get home, though. Like I said, I gotta message both these girls back when I get home. One, just to see how her day's been, because I didn't speak to her yesterday. So I better reach out to her and let her know that, hey, yes, I will message you too, because like I said, she's been doing a lot of the... I'm doing basically the exact same thing to this other chick as what this other chick is doing to me, and she's the one that's always initiating the conversations. I'm just like, damn it. It's just like, I'm doing the exact same things that is what is being done to me. It's just like, I should probably not do that, so I will message her when I get home and ask her how, if she hasn't already, because she may have messaged me. My phone's on Do Not Disturb. So there's a possibility that he just sent me a message while I've been streaming. So either way, I will contact her tonight. But then, yeah, as I said, I got to send another message to Alice tonight as well, just to ask how she is, sort of thing, because she said that she was struggling with existential thoughts. So I think it's a good opportunity to sort of send her a message and be like, hey, if you need to talk, I am here to return the talking that you did for me the other day. Because, yeah, I was going through some existential stuff the other day when I was talking to her. So I feel the least that I can do is at least reach out to her and be like, hey, I'm happy to return the favor, sort of thing. But as I said, I don't want to open myself up like that and then feel like I've just been rejected again. Like, not rejected. I mean, I suppose it is a sense of rejection when she doesn't message me back. But as much as I try and not take it personally, it's hard not for that ego to be like, because every time I see her, the more and more I'm just like, is she out of my league? Which I don't think she is. I think she's very much in my league, but I don't know. I think that's just my own ego and stuff like that talking as well. Like my self-deprecating views sometimes, and my lack of self-confidence sort of thing. I put everybody above myself, not just her, sort of thing. So it's just like, the more I see her, the more I'm just like, am I getting into this when I really shouldn't be? I don't know. Take insomnia medication. A bit late for that. There's nowhere that I can go to buy insomnia medication. It's on sleep. Hey, doing Titan. Yeah, I mean, I was discussing this earlier in the stream. I was just like, the reason why my mental state is so scrambled at the moment is because I haven't been sleeping. I do need to start prioritizing sleep. I didn't go to sleep until like 9 o'clock this morning, and then tried to sleep until like 3 in the afternoon. But that wasn't very successful. That was just me napping for the day. So yeah, I am very tired. My brain's just not functioning. But my brain hasn't been functioning for a while now because of lack of sleep, because I've been dwelling on this stuff for so long, staying up all night, reading stuff online, trying to sort of paint a picture of what's going on between me and like over analyzing every little thing that she says and trying to figure out why she says it, and then our interactions, trying to over analyze every single one of our interactions. See, this is why I need to talk to my therapist. This is why I'm really annoyed that I missed my therapy session last week. Well, I didn't miss it. I was there ready to have it, but dude rang the wrong number or had the wrong number on file or something like that, so I didn't end up having. I need to talk to a professional. Someone that can be like, hey, dude, like, this is some, coping strategies that you can use to deal with this. This is, instead of dumping all of this on you guys. Look, you know that you're the God King of the universe, but you shouldn't put anyone above yourself, even me. I know. Trust me, I know. It's 90% of the stuff that I've been reading has been saying that. Don't put anybody above yourself, sort of thing. But I don't know. It's trauma. Like, this episode of Jimmy's Rants have been brought to you by our sponsor tonight, Trauma. It's just trauma that I've dealt with in the past, sort of thing, which is the reason why I think this way. Again, this is stuff that I should be talking to my therapist about, and this is basically like similar to the conversation that I was having with her the other week when I saw her. yeah, she was saying this stuff. You know, it's just like, you need to talk to your therapist about this sort of stuff. You know, discuss with them why this is happening and all that sort of stuff. So this is what I mean. When we're together, she's very much trying to play that white knight role where she's like, just like, hey, like, I'm trying to help you. Like, you need to do this. You need to go and see your therapist. You need to. So that's why I know that there's some chemistry between us, sort of thing, because it's not just that we're bonding emotionally through engage, like letting each other know personal stuff about our stuff ourselves, talking about that sort of stuff, relating with similar stories, you know, all the sort of stuff that you do when you're bonding with somebody. So there is definitely a connection there. As I said, it's just the lack of connection when we're not together, which just kills me. And I'm just ranting and going over the same stuff. What's insomnia and a medication you need? Some you used to take metazapam. Metazapam. I've got metazapam. That's the. Wait, can I take metazapam for sleeping? Because I've got metazapam at home. That's actually the medication that they've got me on for my anxiety and depression and stuff. Not that I'm taking it, but I should be. Hey, there you go. Maybe I should go home and have some metazapam and go to sleep. For sleep, and help me during the next day. You calm me down. You can use a whole bunch of stuff like Valium and. But yeah, metazapam is more for anxiety, which I learned the other day because that's what we were talking to. She asked me what kind of medication that I was on, and I told her, I was like, I'm on metazapam. And she's like, that's usually what they give for people that have, you know, anxiety and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, I do have anxiety. Because she works in mental health. Like, she works in a psych ward with people with mental health, so she knows all about the medication and stuff like that. So that's another reason why I really like talking to her, because she's so switched on when it comes to that sort of stuff. It is like being in a therapy session. So that's why I would like to spend more time with her, just because it's like, then I don't have to go and see my therapist because I've got you to talk to instead. I miss her. I do. I know that sounds weird, but it's just like I miss being able to spend time with her. Like, as soon as I'm not with her, sort of thing, I just start missing her after a few days. But yeah, with all the chemistry that we have with each other, just the fact that, you know, I'm the one that's always initiating conversations and stuff like that, I just feel like it's not reciprocated, even though I feel like it is when we're together. But again, with her inability to message properly because of the ADHD, I gotta keep telling myself that. I gotta keep telling myself that it's not me, and it's not that she doesn't like me. It's just her executive functioning, which is just making it that she can't reply or doesn't initiate. But you're not sure it even exists. If you find some, you'll send you a link for the medication. It's like there's a whole bunch of different insomnia medications that you can take. Like anything that's going to be a relaxant. So as I said, like Valium and all that sort of stuff helps. Anything that has pine in the name, so metazapam or metazapam or diazepam or anything like that, is usually a relaxant. So if you can get go to your doctor and get them to prescribe something like that, that would probably help. Or you can use like other stuff like melatonin and stuff, because you can just get melatonin at like the chemist. You don't have to have I don't think you need a prescription for melatonin, but yeah, you can just get that over the counter, I'm pretty sure. Jimmy finally got a sponsorship. Yeah, trauma. Loving it. Good old trauma. Thanks, you've tried melatonin, but it didn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work for everybody. For Plenty is sending me a raid invite. I've never battled a Mega Aggron, really. Yeah, I got a pass, why not? We'll jump in. Yeah, that's what you got it for. You have bad anxiety these days, but if you take it before you bed, would put me to sleep within an hour. Well, that's when you're supposed to take it. You're supposed to take it before bed. Well, that's when it was diagnosed for me. Well, prescribed to me. That's what they said. Take it before bed. Yeah. Well, I've got someone home. Like I said, it was what I was supposed to be taking to deal with my anxiety and depression and stuff. But don't rely on a crush for a mental health boost. I'm not relying on a crush for a mental health boost. That's not what it is. It's the connection that I feel with her. Like, it's a connection that I feel like I haven't had with somebody in a long time. So it's, yeah, I don't know. Because you guys might be too young to know what chemistry feels like. Sort of thing. But when you feel like you've got real chemistry with somebody, it's something that you long for. It's something that you want more of. It's like a drug sort of thing. It's just like when you're with this person, it's like being on a drug. And you just want more of it sort of thing. So when you don't get to see this person, you do long for them. And you do have withdrawals. And you do just like... And that's what I feel like when I'm with her. And I feel like she's the same. But for multiple reasons, she's... Yeah... It's hard to go into, sort of thing, like into detail about the whole thing. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here for 3 hours discussing it. But as I said, just because of her lifestyle and what she does and all that sort of stuff, mixed with the ADHD that she has and everything like that, it's like, if I'm not in her immediate life, if I'm not there with her, sort of thing, after a week or so, I just feel like I've been forgotten about. Not that she doesn't care, not that she doesn't have feelings, not that she doesn't, it's just that because I'm not there, she's just not thinking about me the same as she would if I was with her, sort of thing. But yeah, when you feel chemistry, it's usually a mutual thing, just because there's a chemistry that flows between two people. That it's hard to have that as just one person. You can be attracted to somebody that isn't attracted to you, but when you feel chemistry, you know that it's reciprocated, sort of thing, just because it's hard to put it into words. It's hard to quantify how you feel chemistry, why you know that it's a mutual thing, just because it's just the way that it's the vibe. I think that's the best way of putting it. It's the vibe. It's just the feeling that you get because of the interactions that you're having. I don't know. Like I said, that's hard to put into words. Valium is hard to get. You can get a prescription and go to your doctor for it, but you have to have a good reason. 1666 is a turd. Don't take drugs, Jimmy. Everybody takes drugs. Everybody drinks, well, not everybody drinks coffee, but if you drink coffee, you eat sugar, you take Panadol or ibuprofen or anything like that, you take drugs. Like, everybody takes drugs. Just some people take harder drugs than others. And we're just talking about, like, sleeping pills and stuff, like, melatonin. Like, melatonin would be a drug. Valium and all that other stuff would be a drug. Alright, guys. Well, I am going to wrap up the stream here, just because I've dumped my trauma on you guys once again for way too long. I am going to go home and get some dinner. And then probably send messages to friends, lady friends, to boost my own ego and hopefully make myself feel better, but then feel bad because I get contacted by one and then not the other, because I can so see that happening. But anyway, yeah, I will be back tomorrow evening for raids, Tornadoes raids. So yeah, that's what we'll be hosting tomorrow. And yeah, I will more than likely continue this conversation tomorrow, just because it's just going to be an ongoing thing at this point, I think. Thank you, Tapebreaker. Yeah, no, trust me, I know. But being lonely is also soul crushing. So you just got to pick your poison. Like what type of soul crushing depression do you want? Do you want it from loneliness, or do you want it from having to deal with? It's just like, pick your poison. Pick your poison. I've been alone for long enough that it's just like, I think I need some of that woman poison in my life. Good times. Funnily enough, the other chick that I'm talking to, because I said I was going through some mental stuff the other day, she's like, if you need to talk about it, I'm here. So she wants to talk to me about my mental stuff, and it's just like, I really can't open up to you about this stuff because it's just going to push you away, because you're going to... One, I'm talking about another woman to the woman that is... It's just like, I can't do that. I'm just like, the one person that is open to actually listening to me about it, I can't talk to her about it, because it's just like, no, because then I'll lose you both. And it's just like, headaches. Sabil, how you doing? Welcome in. I am about to wrap up the stream though, dude, so I apologize, but yeah, alright guys, I'm gonna wrap up the stream and go home. Women can't ruin your life, it's already ruined. Oh, trust me, dude, doesn't matter how ruined you think your life is, they'll always manage to screw it up even more. Now, women are good, to an extent. I don't hate women. Women are, like, I love women. And this is why I'm having these issues, because I love them too much. Anyway. Alright, guys. I am going to wrap up the stream. So, thank you so much for everybody that has tuned in tonight. Much appreciated. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. It does help out the streams. I'm sorry for ranting on about all this stuff for like the last half an hour or so, but it does help to vent sometimes. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night to host raids. We can continue our discussion then, all that good stuff. So, until then, guys, peace out. Enjoy your morning, evening, noon, or night. Stay safe. Happy hunting. Good luck for your spotlight hour. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow evening. So until then, have a good one. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.